I know the fear about relationships, about loneliness, about whether you will find the love you longed for, or restore the love you feel you are losing. I know the fear about your children, if you have them, that you are failing them or missing them or not being enough for them. I know the fear about your future, the shapeless, unnamed dread that sometimes descends in the quiet hours without any specific reason, just a weight, just an anxiety, just a feeling that something is wrong even when you cannot name what it is. I know every single fear, and tonight I am speaking directly to each one of them. To the fear about provision, I have not run out. My resources are not limited by economies, or job markets, or circumstances. I fed thousands in a desert. I multiplied what was insufficient into more than enough. I provided in ways that made no logical sense, and I did it not to show off, but because I am a father, and fathers take care of their children. You are my child. Your needs are not too big for me. Your situation is not too complicated for me. What feels like an impossible gap to you is simply an invitation for my provision to show up in a way that removes all doubt about where it came from. The provision is coming. To the fear about health, I am the healer. Not in a metaphorical sense, in a real, tangible, cellular, molecular sense. I created the body you are living in. I understand it more completely than any medical text ever written. And I am not indifferent to your pain. I am not unmoved by your suffering. I see it. I am in it with you. And I am working, through every means available, through medicine, through time, through miraculous intervention, toward your healing, and toward the healing of those you love. You are not alone in the waiting room. To the fear about purpose, you have not missed it. You are not behind. The timeline you are measuring yourself against is not mine, and mine is the only one that matters. I have a plan for your life that does not expire, that is not derailed by delay, that is not diminished by the years that felt lost. Nothing is wasted in my economy. Every experience, even the painful ones, especially the painful ones, is being woven into the story I am telling through your life. And that story is not over. In fact, you are standing at what will one day look like the turning point, the place in the story where everything changed. This is that place. To the fear about love, I created you for connection. I put that longing in your heart. I understand what it feels like to long for closeness, to want to be truly known and truly loved, and to have someone to walk alongside. That desire is not foolish, and it is not hopeless. I am the author of love, and I am writing the chapters of your love story with more care than you can imagine. Trust me with it. The love you are longing for is not out of reach. To the fear about your children, you are not failing them. You love them, and love covers more than you know. Your imperfect love, offered consistently, is building something in them that will serve them for a lifetime. I see you choosing them, every day, even when you are tired. I see you trying to get it right. I see the prayers you pray for them in the quiet of the morning. I am answering those prayers. Your children are in my hands. To the shapeless fear, the unnamed anxiety that sometimes comes without reason, that is not a message about your future. That is simply the weight of being human in a world that is often uncertain. But you were not designed to carry that weight alone, and tonight I am inviting you to set it down. Put it in my hands, not because I am dismissing your anxiety, but because I am big enough to hold it, and I am telling you with full authority that your future is secure. Your future is good. Your future is held. Set the fear down tonight. And now, let me speak to your weariness. My child, you have been carrying so much, for so long. You have been the strong one, the one who holds it together, the one who keeps going, the one others lean on, even when you yourself are barely standing. You have been performing a kind of endurance that has cost you more than anyone knows. And that weariness is real. It is valid. It is not weakness. It is the natural result of carrying too much for too long. But something is changing in that tonight. I am sending reinforcement. I am sending rest. Not just physical rest, though that too, but the deep inner rest that comes from knowing truly knowing that you do not have to hold everything together anymore. That you can release your grip on the outcomes, that you can stop white-knuckling your way through life and simply trust that I have it. I have all of it. Come to me tonight, all who are weary and heavy-laden, and I will give you rest. Not someday, tonight. Rest for your mind, for your heart, for your soul. The kind of rest that does not depend on circumstances being perfect. The kind that exists even in the middle of the storm, inside the eye of it, where it is quiet and still, and I am present. Come into that place tonight. Let me hold what you have been holding. Let me carry what has been breaking your back. Let me be what I have always been, your place of refuge, your strong tower, the one in whom you are completely safe. Now let me speak to the silence, the season of silence that has been one of the most disorienting parts of this journey. Because you are used to feeling me, used to a sense of my presence that is tangible, directional, clear. And then came the silence, a season where the prayers felt like they were going nowhere, where the sense of closeness faded, where you reached and felt nothing, where you asked and received no clear answer, where the guidance that used to feel so accessible became inaccessible. And in that silence, the lies started. The lie that said I left. The lie that said I was disappointed. The lie that said the silence was punishment. The lie that said you are on your own now. My child, none of that was true. I never left. The silence was not abandonment. It was not punishment. It was not the withdrawal of my love or my presence. It was something else entirely. It was the kind of trust that a parent extends when they watch a child walk across the room for the first time. They do not carry them. They step back. They create space. They allow the child to use what they have developed. And the stepping back is not distance. It is faith in what has been built. I was stepping back because I had built something in you, and I needed you to walk in it, to discover that you could, to discover that even in the silence, even without the felt sense of my presence, something in you knew the way. Something in you was anchored. Something in you did not drift, even when it felt like everything was unmoored. You were more rooted than you knew, and the silence was the test that revealed it. You passed, not perfectly, not without tears or doubt or questioning, but you did not give up. You did not walk away. You may have walked slower. You may have walked with a limp, but you kept walking, and that matters more than you know. Let me speak to the fear of starting over, because some of you are facing something that feels like a beginning from scratch. A relationship that ended, a career that changed, a dream that needed to be reimagined, a chapter that closed in a way that felt definitive. And the fear that comes with new beginnings, especially after significant endings, is real and valid. Starting over is hard. It requires courage of a specific kind, the courage to grieve what was and still choose to build what can be. The courage to take the experience of what did not work and let it inform rather than define the next attempt. The courage to open your heart again after it was hurt. But I want to tell you something about starting over. It is not starting over, not really, because you are not the same person you were at the first beginning. You are carrying everything you learned, everything you gained, even from the things that ended painfully, the wisdom, the clarity, the deeper knowledge of what you need and what you do not need, the refined understanding of what matters and what is trivial. The authentic relationship with me that was forged in difficulty and therefore is unshakable in a way that the comfortable relationship was not. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from everything. And everything is a much better starting place than zero. What appears to be a step backward is the backswing before the forward surge. What feels like going back to the beginning is the gathering of momentum for a launch that the beginning could never have accommodated. You are being launched, not demoted, not sent back, launched. Now let me address comparison, the quiet but relentless measuring of your life against the lives of others, the scrolling through the curated highlights of other people's journeys and feeling the painful sting of contrast. Their announcement and your silence, their breakthrough and your waiting, They're flourishing and you're struggling. Comparison is a thief. It steals the joy of your own journey by replacing it with the dissatisfaction of someone else's. It takes your very real, very significant, very meaningful progress and makes it feel like nothing because it does not look like someone else's progress. But my plans are not ranked. There is no hierarchy of callings. There is no one life that matters more than another. The person whose breakthrough is visible and celebrated is not more precious to me than the person whose breakthrough is quiet and unseen. I do not play favorites, and my plans are not on a spectrum of better and worse. They are simply different. Your story is not a lesser story because it does not look like someone else's. Your story is exactly the story I am telling through you. And that story is needed. It is unique. It will reach people that no one else's story could reach. It will do things that no other story can do. Because it is yours. Stop measuring it against anyone else's and start living it as your own. Now I want to talk about what is coming. Because my child, if the preparation season has been significant, the coming season is going to be extraordinary. I want you to understand that the magnitude of what I am about to release into your life is connected to the magnitude of what you have walked through. I do not waste seasons. When I prepare someone deeply, it is because what I am preparing them for requires that depth. You have been prepared deeply, which means what is coming requires someone with exactly the character, the resilience, the depth, and the wisdom that this season has built in you. What is coming needs the version of you that exists right now, shaped by every experience you have had, refined by every difficulty you have faced, made ready by every moment of waiting and stretching and choosing to believe when belief was costly. You are ready. And the doors that are about to open will feel sudden. They will feel like they appeared out of nowhere. But they will not have appeared out of nowhere. They will have been moving towards you for a long time, and the timing of their arrival is not random. It is orchestrated. It is deliberate. It is perfectly aligned with the moment you are in right now. Watch for the connections that happen in unexpected places. Watch for the opportunities that seem to come from nowhere. Watch for the ideas that begin to flow with a frequency and clarity you have not experienced before. Watch for the provision that arrives in ways that cannot be explained away. Watch for the relationships that shift, old ones that deepen, and new ones that begin, all moving you closer to the life that has been waiting for you. Watch for it all, because it is coming. And it is coming quickly. There is going to be an acceleration, a suddenness, a speed to the movement that will catch you off guard in the best possible way. Things that have been stuck for years will begin to move. Things that have been closed for so long you stopped expecting them to open will suddenly swing wide. Things that seemed irreversibly broken will begin, piece by piece, to be restored. Restoration. That word is important. I want to talk about it for a moment because I know it is something you need to hear. Restoration is one of my specialties. I take broken things and make them whole. I take lost things and return them. I take years that felt wasted and redeem every moment of them. The story of a man who lost everything. Everything. His wealth, his community, his health, his sense of my nearness. Everything. And the people around him said it was over. They said, give up, accept the end. But he held on. Imperfectly, with questions and complaints and doubt, but he held on. And at the end of that season, what was given back was more than what was lost. A full restoration, and then beyond restoration, an outpouring that made the loss look small in comparison to the abundance that followed. That is the kind of God you are trusting. And that is the movement that is beginning in your life. It is not just that things will return to how they were before. I am not taking you back. I am taking you forward into something that is so much more than what was, so much more than what you have known, that the former things will seem small by comparison. Not because the former things did not matter, but because what is coming is so good, so full, so overflowing with my goodness, that you will understand in that moment why the road was the way it was. you will understand. And in that moment of understanding, the last remaining traces of bitterness, of confusion, of why did this have to happen to me, will dissolve. Because you will see the full picture. You will see my hand in every chapter of your story, and your heart will open, fully open. If you are hearing this right now, it is not a coincidence. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. You did not find this on your own. Something far greater than chance led you here, to this moment, to these words, and I need you to understand that before anything else. Because I know what it took for you to get here. I know how tired you are. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. I mean the deep kind. The kind that lives in your chest, in your bones, in the quiet corners of your heart that you do not show to anyone. The kind that sits with you when the house is still and the night is long, and the thoughts come rushing in like a flood you cannot hold back. I know. I know about the nights when you lay staring at the ceiling, asking questions that had no answers. I know about the prayers you whispered in the dark, the ones that felt like they dissolved into silence before they even reached the sky. I know about the mornings you woke up and had to remind yourself to keep going, because staying felt harder than leaving, but you stayed anyway. You stayed. And I need you to hear me when I tell you, that matters more than you know. My child, I have been here. Every single moment, every silent night, every difficult morning, every time you felt completely and utterly alone, I was closer to you than your own breath. I was in the room with you. I was sitting beside you. I was holding every tear before it even fell. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were never invisible to me. I know the world made you feel that way. I know people made you feel that way. I know circumstances made you feel that way. And I am not minimizing any of that pain. That pain was real. Those seasons were hard. Those nights were long. And I am not here to tell you that it did not hurt. It did. But I am here to tell you something that changes everything. The silence was not rejection. The waiting was not punishment. The delay was not denial. Everything you walked through, every valley, every shadow, every closed door, every unanswered prayer, was preparation, was formation, was the underground work of something extraordinary that is about to break through the surface of your life. Tonight is different. Something is shifting in the atmosphere around you. Something that has been locked is being unlocked. Something that has been sealed is being opened. Something that has been held back is being released. And I need you to be still long enough to feel it, because it is real, and it is for you, and it is happening right now. This is the moment your story begins to turn. Let me take you back to the beginning of this season you have been walking through. Do you remember when it started? When you first felt the ground shift beneath you? When plans began to unravel and things began to go quiet in ways that scared you? I remember. I was there. And what I want you to know is that I was not absent in those moments. I was present. Deeply, intentionally, lovingly present. I was working. Even when you could not see it. Even when the evidence pointed to failure. Even when every logical sign said, this is falling apart. I was building. I was rearranging. I was closing certain doors so that when the right door opened, you would walk through it with everything you needed to thrive on the other side. You see, my child, I do not work the way the world works. The world measures success by speed, by visibility, by immediate results. The world celebrates the shortcut and mocks the long road. But I work in seasons. I work in depths. I work in the hidden places where character is formed and roots go deep and foundations are laid that will hold the weight of everything I am about to put in your hands. Think about the seed. A seed is placed into the ground, and to everyone looking from the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. The soil is dark, the seed is invisible. Days pass, weeks pass, and the ground shows nothing. But underneath, in the darkness, something miraculous is occurring. The seed is breaking open. The shell that protected it is cracking. Roots are pushing down. Life is reaching up. Everything needed for the tree is happening in the invisible, in the underground, in the silent dark. That is what this season has been for you. You have been in the ground. You have been in the dark. You have felt the pressure of that small enclosed space. And I know it has felt like death. But my child, it was not death. It was gestation. It was growth. It was everything needed for you to bloom in a way that will last. Because what grows fast, fades fast. But what grows deep, that lasts. And what I am building in you, it is meant to last. Let me speak to the hidden things. Let me reach into the rooms inside your heart that you keep locked. The ones you do not invite people into. The ones that feel too raw and too tender and too complicated to explain. I want to speak to those places first, because that is where the healing needs to begin. I know about the wound that never fully healed, the one that happened years ago, the one people told you to be over by now. But you are not over it because wounds do not disappear on a timetable. They heal at the pace of grace, not the pace of expectation. And I want you to know that I have not forgotten that wound. I have been tending to it in the night, the way a gardener tends to a fragile plant, carefully, gently, with more patience than you can imagine. That wound is beginning to close, not because time passed, but because I have been in the middle of it, doing work that only I can do, reaching into places that no human hand can reach, touching the deepest roots of that pain, and beginning to transform it into something that will one day become one of your greatest gifts. The very thing that broke you is becoming the thing that builds you. The very wound that was meant to destroy you is being turned into a weapon against everything that tried to hold you down. I know about the relationships that left scars, the people who were supposed to stay but did not, the ones who promised and then walked away, the love that felt so real until it was not, the trust that was given so freely and then shattered in ways that made you afraid to trust again. I know you built walls after that. I know you learned to keep people at arm's length because closeness felt dangerous and vulnerability felt foolish. But my child, I am not those people. I do not leave. I do not walk away when things get hard. I do not grow tired of your questions or impatient with your process. I do not love you with conditions or stay with you based on your performance. My love for you is not fragile. It is not seasonal. It does not waver when you waver. It does not diminish when you fail. My love for you is the most stable thing in your universe. And tonight, I want you to let it in. Not just touch the surface of it, not just acknowledge it from a distance, but actually let it into those locked rooms. Let it reach the wounded places. Let it wash over the parts of you that feel unlovable, and the parts that feel forgotten, and the parts that feel like too much or not enough. You are not too much. You are not enough. You are exactly who I created you to be, at exactly the right stage of your becoming. And I am not disappointed in you. I am proud of you. I am moved by you. I look at your life, with all of its mess and all of its beauty. Someone who kept going when giving up would have been easier. Someone who still believes, even when belief is hard. Someone who still reaches for me, even in the moments when I feel distant. That is extraordinary. That is the kind of faith that moves mountains. Not the faith that shouts from mountaintops, but the faith that whispers in the dark. Not the faith that never doubts, but the faith that doubts and reaches anyway. Not the faith that never falls, but the faith that falls and gets up again. That is your faith, and it has not gone unnoticed. I have been watching every act of courage you thought no one saw. Every morning you chose to get out of bed when everything in you wanted to disappear. Every time you chose kindness when bitterness would have been justified. Every quiet sacrifice you made. Every time you helped someone else, even when you were the one who needed help. Every prayer you prayed without knowing if anyone was listening. I was listening. Every single word, every whispered question, every tear that turned into a prayer, every silent cry in the car, on the floor, in the shower where no one could see. I heard all of it, and none of it was wasted. None of it fell into empty space. All of it landed directly in my hands, and I have been holding every word, every tear, every broken piece of you, with infinite care. And now something is different. Now the season is shifting. I want to paint a picture for you. Think about a storm at sea. The waves are violent, the wind is howling, the rain is relentless, the sky is dark in every direction. And in the middle of that storm, it feels as though it will never end. It feels as though the dark is all there is. But the sailor who knows the sea understands something that the storm tries to make you forget. The storm is moving. It is not permanent. It is passing through. And just beyond the outer edge of the darkest cloud, the sun is already there. The storm was simply between you and it. My child, you have been in the storm, but tonight you are breaking through to the other side. The clouds are thinning, the wind is beginning to settle, the waves are starting to quiet, and the light that has been just beyond your sight is beginning to reach you. You may not feel it fully yet. You may still feel the weight of the storm in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. But something has shifted. Tonight has shifted. The worst is behind you. I know that can be hard to believe when you have heard it before and the hard kept coming. I understand why hope feels risky. I understand why believing for better feels dangerous when you have been disappointed. The heart can only take so many letdowns before it learns to protect itself by expecting less. I understand that protective mechanism. I designed the human heart, and I understand every defense it builds. But I am asking you tonight to lower one wall. Just one. You do not have to tear them all down at once. You do not have to be wide open and vulnerable to everything. But tonight, I am asking you to let one wall come down, the wall between you and hope. Let yourself hope again, not the fragile, wishful kind of hope, not the kind that is built on outcomes. I am talking about the kind of hope that is anchored in my character, in who I am, in my track record through all of history of turning impossible situations around, of making ways where there were no ways, of breathing life into what appeared dead, of restoring what was lost, of redeeming what was broken. That kind of hope does not disappoint, because it is not based on circumstances. It is based on me. And I am trustworthy, my child. I know you have been let down. I know the world has given you reasons to doubt. But let me show you that I am different. I am not the father who leaves. I am not the friend who betrays. I am not the promise maker who forgets. I am the God who has been with you through every season of your life. Even the seasons you thought you were walking alone. And I am still here, still faithful, still working, still moving on your behalf. Let me talk about what has been happening in the unseen. There is a realm you cannot see with your physical eyes. A realm where things are set in motion before they ever manifest in the physical world. And in that realm, on your behalf, things have been in motion. Plans have been aligned. Connections have been positioned. Doors have been moving toward their opening. The pieces of your breakthrough have been assembled with care and precision. And the timing is now. Think about a pregnancy. From the outside, for 9 months, nothing looks like it's happening. The mother knows. The doctor knows. But to the casual observer, life is going on as normal. And then suddenly, what was hidden is revealed. What was invisible becomes visible. What was forming in secret is introduced to the world. And everyone is amazed, even though the work has been happening all along. Your breakthrough is like that. It has been forming. It has been growing. It has been developing in the places you cannot see. And the moment of its arrival is close. So close that those with spiritual sensitivity can feel it in the atmosphere. There is something in the air tonight, a readiness, a fullness, the sense that the time has come. And it has. My child, I want to speak now to the specific fears that have been keeping you up at night. because I know them. I know the one about money, about whether there will be enough, about the bills and the needs and the gap between where you are and where you need to be. I know the one about health, either your own or someone you love, the symptoms that worry you, the uncertainty that makes tomorrow feel fragile. I know the one about purpose, the nagging feeling that you are behind, that everyone else is moving forward and you are standing still, that life is passing and you are not living it fully. Let me speak now about the dreams that have been in your heart, the ones you have carried for a long time, the ones that sometimes feel foolish because they have not materialized and the world has been telling you to be realistic, to settle, to expect less. I put those dreams there. I authored them. They did not come from wishful thinking or ego or human ambition. They came from me, placed in you at the beginning, seeds of destiny that were always meant to grow and bloom and bear fruit. And they are still alive. Do not bury them. Do not talk yourself out of them. Do not let the length of the waiting season convince you that the dream was wrong. Dreams that come from me do not have expiration dates. They do not fade when they are delayed. They get refined. They get purified. They get clarified. The dream is still yours, and the path to it is opening. Now let me speak to your identity, because I think this may be at the root of some of the most painful things you have experienced. When people disappoint you, when things do not go as planned, when rejection or failure or loss comes, the lie that follows is often an identity lie. A voice that says, "This happened because you are not enough." That voice is not mine. My voice says, "You are my beloved. You are chosen. You are seen. You are valued beyond measure. Your worth is not determined by your performance, by your successes, by your appearance, by what others think of you, by how productive you have been, by how well you have maintained your faith during the hard season. Your worth is inherent. It is built into the very fabric of your being, because I made you, and I do not make worthless things. You are not worthless. You are not less than. You are not the sum of your failures or the total of your worst moments. You are my child, my creation, my treasure. And the way I see you, if you could see it for just 1 second, would shatter every insecurity, silence every lie, and leave you standing with a straightened spine and a lifted head. You are so loved. I want to speak something over you now. I want to speak it slowly, and I want you to receive it, not just with your mind, but with your heart, with those deep inner places. You are chosen for this moment. Everything you have experienced, the good and the difficult, has been preparation for the specific calling that is on your life. The calling that is beginning to manifest. The calling that was always there, even when it was buried, even when it was quiet, even when the world gave you no indication that it was real. It was always real. I always saw it. I was always moving toward the moment when it would become visible. That moment is now. You have been equipped. You have been trained. You have been refined. You have developed the empathy that comes from suffering, the wisdom that comes from walking through the fire, the depth that comes from having no other option but to go deep with me, the authority that comes from believing when everything around you said, "Stop believing." Those are not small things. Those are the exact things needed for the assignment that is yours. And as you step into it, you will begin to see yourself differently. You will look back at the valley seasons and understand with a clarity that was not possible from inside them why they were necessary, how I used them. And that understanding will transform the residue of those seasons into fuel for the next one. Nothing wasted. Everything redeemed. Let me speak to the dreamers who have been afraid to dream again. The ones who put their dreams away after being disappointed too many times. The ones who say, "I do not get my hopes up anymore," because saying it out loud feels stronger than admitting that their heart still hopes, that there is still something in them that believes. I see through that armor. I see the dreamer underneath. I am calling the dreamer in you out of hiding. Because the dreams that have not yet been fulfilled, the ones that feel dormant, the ones you put away and tried to stop thinking about, they are not dead. They are dormant, and there is a difference. Dead things do not stir when called, but dormant things respond to the right conditions. And the conditions right now for you are right. The soil is ready. The season has changed. The atmosphere is charged. And I am calling the seeds of your deepest dreams out of dormancy and into activation. You may feel it as a renewed stirring, as an idea returning that you thought you had finished with, as an energy around something that went quiet for a while. Pay attention. Those stirrings are not wishful thinking. They are seeds coming alive. There is something powerful that happens when a human being aligns their willingness with my ability. When you bring what you have, your gifts, your time, your effort, your faith, and I bring what only I can bring, my favor, my resources, my timing, my connections, my miraculous intervention. The result is something neither could have produced alone. That is what is available to you now. Bring what you have. I will bring the rest. Do not be intimidated by how small what you have feels compared to the size of the dream. Over and over in the story of my relationship with humanity, I have taken what was insufficient and made it more than enough. I specialize in that, and I am about to do it again, in your situation, with your resources, in your time, for your life. Watch. Now I want to slow down and speak very personally. Past the principles, past the big movements and the breakthroughs. I want to speak to you, specifically, as if it is just us in this moment, because it is. I know your name. I know your story. I know the version of you that exists before the performance, before the mask, before the coping mechanisms, before the face you put on for the world. I know the raw, unfiltered, complicated, beautiful, struggling, hoping, trying, falling, rising you. I know every layer. I have seen you in every season. And I want you to know, from the deepest place of who I am, that there is nothing about you that makes me love you less. Nothing. Not your mistakes, not your failures, not the things you are ashamed of, not the thoughts you have not told anyone, not the choices you regret, not the seasons when you walked away or stopped believing, or made decisions that hurt you and others. None of it. My love for you is not performance-based, it is not achievement-based, it is not condition-based. It simply is. Like the sun that rises every morning, not because the earth has earned it, but because that is its nature. My love for you rises every morning simply because loving you is my nature. You are permanently, unconditionally, irreversibly loved. Let that settle. Let it go all the way down. Let it reach the place inside you that has been asking, is there anyone who will love me as I actually am? All of me, not just the parts I show. The answer to that question is yes. Has always been yes. Will always be yes. I do. And from that foundation, from that bedrock of knowing you are love, I want you to build the next chapter of your life. Not from fear of not being enough, not from striving to prove yourself, not from trying to earn what you already have, but from the overflow of someone who is loved, who knows they are loved, who lives from that security rather than toward it. It changes everything. When you know you are loved, you stop making decisions from desperation. You stop tolerating what you should not tolerate because you are afraid of being alone. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that are too small for you. You stop performing for approval because you already have the approval that matters most. You start walking differently. You start choosing differently. You start expecting differently. Not with arrogance, but with a quiet, settled confidence that says, I know who I am. I know whose I am. And I know that I am walking into a future that was designed for me. Walk like that. From this night forward, walk like that. Now let me bring you to this moment, this specific night, this exact moment, because there is something happening right now, as you listen, that is more than just words reaching your ears. There is a real movement occurring. Old things releasing, new things entering. The atmosphere around you, which has been heavy with the weight of this season, is beginning to shift. Can you feel it? Maybe it is subtle. Maybe it is just a slight lifting of the weight you have been carrying. Maybe it is a warmth. Maybe it is a sense of peace that doesn't make logical sense given everything that is still unresolved. Maybe it is just a release of breath you did not know you were holding. Whatever it feels like, it is real. I am doing something tonight. I am moving in the deep places of your being, the places where wounds have lived, the places where fear has made its home, the places where hope has been barely breathing. And I am bringing healing to the wounds, and I am evicting the fear, and I am breathing life back into the hope. This is a holy moment, and I want you to receive it. Do not intellectualize it. Do not analyze it. Do not evaluate whether you deserve it. Just receive it. Like a gift, hands open, heart open. You deserve to be healed. You deserve to be free. You deserve to walk into this new season with your whole heart intact, not carrying the weights of what was, not dragging the chains of old pain and old fear and old identity into the new chapter I have written for you. Those chains are falling off tonight. Those weights are being lifted tonight. Those old identities, the ones that were assigned to you by pain, by rejection, by failure, by other people's limitations, are being replaced tonight by the identity I assigned to you before the foundation of the world. Beloved, chosen, called, equipped, favored, held, loved. That is who you are, and from tonight, that is who you will walk as. Now let me tell you about the specific things that are coming, because I want to be concrete. I want you to have something to hold in your hands, something tangible to look forward to, something specific enough that when it arrives, you will remember this night, and you will know that I spoke it over you before you saw it. Provision is coming in unexpected ways from unexpected sources. The financial pressure that has been squeezing you is going to begin to release. Help is coming from directions you have not considered, through channels that are not yet visible to you, in ways that will leave no question about where it came from. Health is shifting. Bodies are responding. Healing is occurring at the cellular level. For you and for those you have been praying for. Hold on. The change is coming. The tide is turning in the direction of wholeness. Doors are opening in the area of your calling. The work you were made for, the contribution only you can make, is about to get a platform, an opportunity, a connection, an open door that you could not have manufactured yourself. Walk through it without hesitation. Relationships are being aligned. Someone who has a significant role to play in your next chapter is being moved into your sphere. A relationship that has been strained is moving toward reconciliation. A loneliness that has been your companion for too long is about to find its answer. Peace is replacing anxiety, not as a feeling to be manufactured, but as a reality to be inhabited. The peace that passes understanding, that cannot be explained by circumstances, that exists even in the middle of the unresolved. That peace is entering your inner world tonight. Joy is being restored. The capacity for delight that this season has dampened is being relit. Small things will begin to carry wonder again. Beauty will begin to catch your eye again. Gratitude will begin to flow again. Life will begin to taste good again. And purpose is becoming clear. The fog that has surrounded your sense of direction is lifting. What you are supposed to do, where you are supposed to go, who you are supposed to become in this next chapter is becoming visible. Follow it. Trust it. It is my hand leading you. All of this is in motion. All of this is yours. Now let me address the part of you that is holding back the one thing that still feels impossible. The one thing you are not quite daring to believe could be included in the restoration. The one prayer that you have stopped voicing because the silence around it was too painful. The one dream you have let yourself. And I want you to know, it is not the exception. Nothing is the exception when it comes to my ability to restore, redeem, and transform. Nothing is too gone. Nothing is too broken. Nothing is too far past the point of return. I am in the business of taking what was designed for destruction and turning it for good. Give me that thing, the one you have been holding back, the one that feels too much to hope for. Give it to me tonight, and watch what I do with it. Because I am not limited by your expectation. I am not contained by the size of your faith. I can work with a mustard seed. I can work with a moment of surrender. I can work with a single, trembling act of trust. Will you trust me with that thing? Right now, in this moment? Give it to me. And let the peace that comes with surrender wash over you, because there is such relief in releasing the things we have been white-knuckling. Such rest in saying you handle it. Such freedom in genuinely, finally, letting go. Let go. I have got it. You can rest now. And now we are coming to the place where I want to seal this moment in your spirit. I want to speak over your future with authority and love. I want to declare over your life the things that are already established in the heavens and working their way into your reality. Your future is bright. Your future is filled with purpose and meaning and the satisfaction of doing what you were made for. Your future holds love, real love, deep love, the kind that sustains and nourishes and grows. Your future holds provision, more than enough, not just surviving, but thriving. Your future holds health and wholeness and the energy to live fully. Your future holds joy that surprises you, beauty that catches your breath, moments of grace that make you stop and feel profoundly, simply grateful. Your future holds the fulfillment of every dream I placed in you. Your future holds the answer to every prayer you thought was lost. Your future holds the restoration of what was lost, and the redemption of what was broken, and the fullness of everything I promised. Your future holds me, present with you, in every chapter to come, just as I have been in every chapter that has passed. You will never walk alone. You will never be abandoned. You will never fall further than my hands can reach. And when you stumble, because life includes stumbling, I will be there, not to condemn, not to keep score, but to lift you up, dust you off and say, keep going, beloved, keep going. You are not done, the story is not over, and the best is not behind you, the best is ahead. You are going to look back on this season, this exact season of waiting in silence and pain, and you are going to see it differently than you see it now. You are going to see the hand of a God who loved you too much to let you have what you wanted before you were ready for it. You are going to see the protection in the closed doors. You are going to see the gift of the delays. You are going to see how the silence was not empty, but full of something being prepared for you in the invisible. And you are going to be grateful and free. My child, it is time. It is time to stop living in the shadow of what was. It is time to step out of the waiting room and into the hallway of what is coming. It is time to lift your eyes from the ground and turn them toward the horizon, where the light is breaking. The light is breaking. It is dawn. The night has been long and it has been dark, and you have been so tired in it. But the dawn is here. Not metaphorically, not someday in the future. Now, tonight, this moment is the turning. This moment is where the night becomes morning, and the morning is golden, and it is worn, and it has your name on it. Step into it. Step into this new day, this new chapter, this new season. Step into it with your head lifted, and your shoulders back, and your heart open, and your hands free, and your faith alive, and your hope restored, and your joy returning, and your purpose clear, and my love surrounding you like an atmosphere you breathe. You are not the same person who started this season. You are stronger, deeper, wiser, more refined, more compassionate, more ready. You are ready, and I am with you. Every step, every moment, every challenge that comes in this new season, every unexpected twist, every day that is easy and every day that is hard, every moment of doubt and every surge of faith, every celebration and every grief, every beginning and every ending. I am with you in all of it, always. So tonight, as these words settle into your spirit, as something shifts and something releases and something begins, I want you to make me one simple agreement. Trust me, not with perfect faith, not without questions, not without the occasional doubt or the occasional cry of, why? Just trust me, in the fundamental, bedrock sense. Trust that I am good. Trust that I am for you. Trust that I am working. Trust that I have not forgotten you and I will not abandon you. And the story I am writing for your life is worth the cost of the chapters that brought you here. Trust me and rest. Rest in my love. Rest in my ability. Rest in my faithfulness. Rest in the truth that your tomorrow is held by the same hands that formed the mountains and stretched the heavens and breathed life into every living thing. Those hands are holding you, tonight, now, and they will never ever let you go. You are loved, my child. You are seen. You are held. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far. You are right here, and I am right here with you. And from this night forward, everything is changing. It is done. It is yours. It is happening. Now rest. I am in control. Your morning has come. Sleep in peace, my child. I am watching over you. And when you wake, everything will already be in motion. Everything I promised. Everything you have been waiting for. Everything that has your name written on it in my hand. It is moving toward you, and I am with you through all of it. Now and forever, you are safe in my hands. Rest now, my child. Just rest. I love you, and that is enough.